Today, I want to help you visualize your future. These three questions are great conversation starters to have with a spouse, a close friend, or a family member. This might be a hot take coming from a financial planner, but the numbers part of it, the income, tax planning, investments, etc., in comparison can actually be the easy part. All of that does not matter if you are unhappy or unfulfilled during your retirement. The first question I'm going to ask is, what brings you happiness? Your questions are going to be unique to you. In my case, my 10-week-old son brings me a lot of happiness, and will probably do so for years to come. Maybe some stress sprinkled in along the way. My wife, my family, they are obvious sources of happiness for me. Hockey is a sport I grew up playing. Even though it's painful at times, I'm still an avid Minnesota Wild fan. Following them brings me happiness, well, until the playoffs hit, but I digress. If you'd like to organize your thoughts, make a list of all of your sources of happiness, and then rank them as either A or B sources of happiness. For example, my son is a definite A source. The Minnesota Wild are probably a B source. I think this simple activity helps you to prioritize your sources of happiness. Use this list to help visualize your future retirement and how you want to spend your time. You have 100% control of your time in retirement. There's nothing stopping you from spending it in a way that maximizes your life and your memory dividends. The second question is, what in your life do you wish you could cut out? Well, work, of course, that might be an obvious one. But if you could script your next 10, 20, 30 years of life, what are things you are doing today that you would like to leave out of that script? Make another list or talk this over with a spouse or a friend and decide what you need to intentionally avoid in retirement. This might be kind of a silly example, but maybe you absolutely cannot stand cleaning the floors in your house. It's something you think, well, I'm going to have plenty of time to do that in retirement. There's no way I'm going to pay for it. Well, just because you have time to do something doesn't mean you should spend your time doing things that make you miserable, especially in retirement. Maybe it makes sense for you to pay for a cleaning service occasionally versus spending what will amount to days of your life over the next few decades doing something that you absolutely hate doing. This is just one random example. I'm sure there are things that come to mind unique to you that you can visualize cutting out of your life. Third, I want you to visualize you're 90 years old, you're sitting on the front porch, and you're looking back at the last 30 years of your life. What does your 90-year-old self hope they were able to accomplish over the previous 30 years? Maybe spending time with your grandchildren or being able to help them through college. Maybe spending time with a close friend or a group of friends. Maybe you feel strongly about a political cause and you want to make an impact at your local government level. Maybe there are elements of your current job that you actually like and you can continue to do a scaled back version of your work or work pro bono for a charity. Maybe volunteering is something that you can participate in, both rewarding for you and others. These are just examples. This again is going to be very specific and unique to you. Try and visualize what your 90-year-old self would be able to think back fondly on. Thank you for listening, and as always, money is a tool, knowledge is freedom, and planning is power. Have a great rest of your day.